Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Tuesday, April the 9th, 2024, and this is my Flosstube episode 116. If you are new to my channel, I thank you so very much for checking me out. If you would like to be enabled, please hit that like and subscribe button so that you will be notified when I upload a new video. And to my returning friends, thank you so very much for coming back each time that I do upload a video. I hope everyone is doing well. I don't have any major life anythings going on right now. I did participate in watching the eclipse. Here for the state of Ohio, we were in a total eclipse, which means it got dark. It was very eerie. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the street lights came on. The birds started chirping really loud. It was totally strange. And if I can, I'll put some pictures in so that you can see what it looked like outside my home. The only thing that happened that I thought was kind of strange was Albert acted strange all day long. Like he wanted to stay outside. Usually he goes out, takes care of his business, and he'll come back in. But like he was just standing around. He wanted to go out when the eclipse was going on, but I wouldn't let him out because I was afraid he would look up at the sun and lose his little eyesight. So I did keep him in the house for that, but it was an exciting day yesterday. I have never experienced that before. I know there was an eclipse, I think like in 2017, but it did not like do anything in Ohio, so I don't recall if that is correct or not, but it was a really awesome experience to experience that. And so I was grateful that my glasses came in just yesterday, right before it all was to start. So and other than that, I have been stitching, and doing taxes. But they're all done now, and so, you know, I can move on from there. But it's been a good week. I am going along, just doing what I need to do. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I have whips and finishes. I have some investments. I have an announcement. And then you can go to your next Flosstuber. So we're just going to jump right into it. I broke my ring light, so the lighting might be a little bit off. And it's actually raining here today. So, you know, it is always something. But so the first thing I'm going to talk about is my March stats. I did go ahead on, and even though March was not a very good stitching month for me, I did get stitches in. So I'm going to go ahead and share that information with you. I worked on 9 projects for the month of March. I stitched for 18 days. And in 18 days, I stitched 4,805 stitches. And that is an average of 267 stitches a day. And the bulk of that was on lichen, which I stitched for Ymir Almond M&M's race that she did from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Oh, I should have totaled up how many stitches I stitched for that. Okay, I'm going to pause and then I'll let you know how many stitches I stitched for that. Okay, for lichen, I actually put in 1,396 stitches. I had 2 new starts and 2 finishes. So that was really good. Okay, sorry, my grandkids are here and they are running in and out, and so I had to stop the video again. Hopefully I won't have any more interruptions. Okay, so I had 2 new starts. One was the snowman in the red hat for which was a Christmas ornament that I started, and I also started lichen. Oh, I had 3 new starts. I had lichen is a new start, Ohio, and snowman in a red hat. And I only had 1 finish, which was I Will Bless the Lord. So that is where I'm at with that. Those were my stats. And even though, you know, I only stitched 18 days, that was pretty good. I think I'm giving myself a lot of grace from here on out. So that was pretty good. So since I don't have any new starts for this week, I'm going to go ahead on and roll into my whips. So for my first whip this week, it is my Whip Go number 21. And that is, that was chosen by Carolyn Zook of C Zook Stitch. And it is City Sidewalks by Glendon Place. And here's a picture of what it will look like. And here's a picture of what it looked like the last time I showed it. And here is where it is now. So I put in all of the, I put in 288 stitches on this project. My Whip Go is for 700 stitches, so I still have a ways to go, but I completed this whole red house here. I put in all the red stitches, not completed. I put in the red stitches for the outline of the house, all the work, and now I need to do the inside, and I'll be working on this first house also. This is being stitched on, oh, it's probably on here. Yes, it is a 28 count Be Stitch Me Frost. And that is where it is now. Carolyn chose this project. She thought it was on my year of whips, which it is not, unfortunately. I wish it was, because I could potentially finish this if it was. But she is also trying to get me out of being a seasonal stitcher. That's what she said when she told me what project she wanted me to work on. So I'm leaving it in the Nurge, as I'll be working on it a little bit every week. In order to get the 700 stitches put in for it. I am using the called for DMC for this instead of the overdyes. So that is City Sidewalks. And I love this piece. I actually watched Carolyn stitch it. And that's what made me want to stitch it, because I loved, I watched her stitching it, and I was so enamored by it. Because that's one of my favorite Christmas carols also. So that was City Sidewalks. My next, and I'm doing these in order. Yeah, I'm doing these in order to how I stitched on them. So the next whip that I worked on was 1 Dozen Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And I am participating in the hashtag Bake Me a Quaker Style that is being hosted by EJ. It is not too late to join. If you have not joined us yet and would like to, it is not too late to join. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. Sorry, I didn't get it put on a board beforehand. Here is where it is now. So I finished completely this first motif. Actually, it's not finished now that I'm looking at it. I'm missing, there's 2 things right here. So I'll be getting those put in, 1 right here and 1 right here. But it's 99% completed here. I put in the number 2 and I brought the side border down on both sides. I have added 261 stitches to this since Friday. So I am doing a little bit of work on both parts. As you can see by this diagram that EJ split it up into 12 months, and 2, 5, and part of this motif is under the April portion. So I will be working on this motif here. And I'll also be working on the 7 and the 9 for the month of May. I'll be trying to work ahead a little bit as I have big plans for the month of August. So I want to get ahead a little bit. But this is the breakdown of where we are now. I am stitching my 1 Dozen Quakers on 46 count, limited, unlimited, limited. I forget how Color and Cotton does it. It is a Color and Cotton. And I am using various purple flosses for mine. So it'll be completely different than what the model is. And that's where I am with that. I am still very much enjoying the working on the 46 count. I know that I have said this before in the past, but I am going to wait and see about doing the over 1 stitching on this project. I know you can do over 1 stitching on 46 count. I don't know that it's going to be necessarily necessary for me to do it, but I know it can be done. So we'll just see when I get there. But I have until December to make that decision. So that's where I'm at on that. Okay. So for my next whip is my Whip Go project number 18, and that was chosen by Miss Shelia from the Sunshine Stitchers. And it is, she chose Rosena Disery 1820. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. I have added 323 stitches. The bulk of this stitch is over 1, and I am stitching mine on 28 count cobblestone by Color and Cotton, and I am using the called for DMC flosses for this. So I will just continue on. This is a very slow go for me, but all of the 323 stitches were put in here. So I'm very proud of myself that I'm, keeping up, or, Miss Sheila calls it because so that I'll work on it. I know that's why. She is also stitching this piece. She is much further along. But it is, it's not so bad. Once I get into a groove, so as you can see, this part of the stitch goes really quickly. It is these lines that come up from that are the tedious part. So I'll be working on that part of the top border, and then this is the completed top border portion. Once I get that done, then I'm going to when I get this completed, I'm going to count over so that I can do some. It always seems like my shirt is all jacked up all the time. I'm going to count over so that I can do some over 2 stitching, because it literally will be like over here. There's 2 big baskets of berries or fruit or flowers or something. So that is the very top portion of the chart. When I get that completed, then I can start doing all the words are over 1, but these bowls, berry bowls here, are over 2. The flowers are over 2. This is over 1. These are over 2. So I can start moving on to some over 2 and do a little over 1, a little over 2, a little over 1, a little over 2. So and this is one stitch, like when I stitched on this on Saturday because I need like complete concentration and focus. Like I can't talk to my friends and all of that stuff when I'm working on this, because it's very easy to forget that you're doing, for me, it's very easy to forget that I'm doing over 1 and then just start automatically doing over 2. So I'm like, oh no, can't do that. And I said, and that was my whip go call number 18. So now my next whip is Temperature Turtles by Stitching Mommy. And I am on, well, here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. I finished the March turtle. On Sunday, so this is where it is right now. When you last saw it, I only had this little piece of tail in for March. I literally stitched on this all day on Sunday and put 716 stitches in on that turtle. to get March completed, and now I can move on to April. I am stitching this on a 32 count Whimsical by Be Stitch Me, and I am using a sulky conversion that I came up with. It was really nice and warm, and then then it dropped into the 30s. That's what that blue is right there. So that is my temperature turtles, and I am so happy that I am caught back up again. I'm gonna work on it again some more so that I can get the April one in. I do not want to fall behind like I did on Temperature Butterflies with this. So that is where I am with Temperature Turtles. Okay, so the next project that I'm going to show you was a Whip Go project from last month. It is, oh, that's a good year, 1963. It is my Northern Expressions Needleworks Twisted Band Sampler. This was called by my friend Lynn X Stitches Creates for the Whip Go for the month of March. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where, so this is the full part. And I am working on this flower band here. I have added so far 375 stitches to this for the month. So I'll be, I actually have met my goal to, so I'm putting, what I'm deciding to do is since I didn't get my Whip Go in last month, I'm working on them as I put in acrostics. The goal for this in my acrostic rowboat for the magazine monthly challenge was 300 stitches. So I could put this away now. I've met the goal on it, but I think I'm going to keep it out. I still have a couple of more things that I need to touch before. I have a few more projects that I need to touch before the end of the month gets here. And I will be traveling at the end of the month, so I need to make sure that I get everything else put in, completed before I go back and work on this. Again, my Whip Go goals are 700 stitches or a finish, whichever comes first. And so that is where I am now on Twisted Band Sampler. I'm stitching this on an 18 count white Ada, and I am using the called for DMC colors. And those are my whips for this week. I up until today, so far up until today, oh look, I didn't even count that. I have stitched 1,963 stitches. That's from the 1st through today. So now let me show you my finishes that I'm super excited about. So both of my finishes, I have two. They are both on my year of whips. So does that mean, let me look. I think that means now, bless the Lord, oh shell, yeah, Winter Bluster. I have 3 out of the 14 projects. I have 14 projects listed on my year of whips. 3, so far I have 3 completed. I have to have 7 completed for the year to be included in the drawing. So I have 3. And let me show you which ones I finished this week. The first one is, it is Oh Shell Yeah by Barefoot Needlearts. And I stitched this on a 18 count Touch of Peach Ada. And that's what it looks like. And I really am ecstatic about it. I did do all the back stitching around the shell and inside the shell. EJ, I did the back stitching. Now. Me and EJ have a thing about back stitching. So that was finish number 1. And finish number 2 is Winter Bluster by Glendon Place. And I stitched this on a 28 count Monaco, hand dyed by me. And here it is. I did use the called for DMC for this project, except for the swirl here. I used a toile, and on the hat I used a toile. You can see it's a little sparkly. So I'm super excited that I have 2 finishes in 1 week. It really feels good to have my 2 more year of whips completed for a total of 3. I just have to, you know, keep the pace and keep adding them into my acrostics as I go along for this year. Because I've added so many, I'm not thinking straight. Because I added so many in, you know, you had to have at least 8, and I put in 14. So I am going to continue adding them to my acrostics so that I can get them all in. That is the only way that I have worked them all in, is by using them for my acrostics. Winter Bluster I used for the W in Rowboat, which is the acrostic for the magazine monthly this month. So, and Oh Shell Yeah was the first O in Rowboat. 1 Dozen Quakers is the second O in Rowboat. I'm using Twisted Band Sampler for the B in Rowboat. R is the Rosena Disery 1820. A is Airplane, which is in Half the Fun, which is also one of my Year of Whips. And T for Town, and that is City Sidewalk, which is also a whip go-go. I have not, I do participate in Sammy J. Stitch's Whipagories, and I have not really set my Whipagories just yet. I'll be working on those tonight to come up with what I'm going to put in for them. Some of them may be able to cross over, but I don't think so, because the Whipagories are newest start, which I'm going to put some stitches in on you know, I thought that my newest start was Lichen. I think it is Lichen. And so I'll need to put some more stitches into Lichen, which is not a problem. I love ink circles charts. Struggle Bus, I need to pull Give Thanks, because that's my struggle bus. New to me, I haven't come up with one yet for that, but I did get some suggestions, and thank you so very much. Oh, less than 10 colors I need to come up with, and least amount stitched. I need to come up with something for that, so I will. I want to thank you all. I don't know why I didn't do this at the very beginning, but thank you all so very much for your support and your kindness. I do read all of your comments. Sometimes it's very difficult for me to respond back. I'm going to work on getting better at that. I need to pick a day and respond to comments like Miss Shelia does, because I think it's important that you know that I'm reading your comments, and it's a good way to start conversations back and forth on different topics that are being discussed in the comments. So thank you all so very much for your support. Again, you'll never know what all of this means to me. It's mind-blowing, overwhelming, humbling, all of the things. And I really do appreciate you being a part of my life and my stitching journey. Okay, so now I have gone through the finishes, and now I'm going to go on to announcements. The only announcement that I really truly have I don't know what is in my mouth. Like, something keeps I don't know if it's a hair or what, but as you know, Mental Health May is next month. Mental Health May, for those of you that may be new to my channel, is something that is an event that I started a few years ago. I have made it no secret that I suffer with depression and anxiety and a few other things. And so I thought it was very important. There's so much stigma around mental health issues. And when I say mental health issues, I don't mean just depression or anxiety. There's also bipolar, there's schizophrenia, there's cutting, there's all kinds of mental health related issues in our society. And so as a way to destigmatize those issues, I have been, for the past, I think 4 years, maybe 3 years, 4 years, I have chosen a chart and stitched it during the month of May and beyond if need be, that brings awareness in some form or fashion to mental health issues. So with that being said, I am going to be doing that again this year. I still have not chosen a chart yet that I am all in. I do know. So let me say this, and she doesn't know that I'm saying this, but there is a designer on Etsy. Her name is Emily Call, and it is, I will have her link in the description box below. She is an Etsy designer, and she has come out with a couple of, it says I am, and then it underneath it gives what you are. So one of them is I am enough. So when I saw that earlier this year, I was like, oh my goodness, I might have to stitch all of these. Then there's another one that she just came out with that it says I am brave. All of these. So please go to her Etsy site if you need something quick. If you would like a quick stitch for Mental Health May, she is one of several designers that I have purchased things from Etsy. I did tell her that I would shout out those 2 designs for Mental Health May, and that is what I'm doing. Last year, I took a design from a book that was gifted to me, and so I'm still going to look and see. I'm actually thinking about doing a couple of different things for Mental Health May, and one of which is Miss Dina of Half Stitch Cross Stitch. She does May Mondays, and what that means is that she starts a new project every Monday in the month of May. There are so many different projects for mental health awareness that I see them and I'm like, I really want to start that. I really want to do that. So I'm looking at doing a new mental health chart for each week of the month. With that being said, I know that I would have to focus on one with a smaller stitch count so that I could get it completed during the month. And then I would still have mental health charts that I could work on. If you have started a mental health chart in previous years and would like to continue working on that, I applaud that. You do not need to start a new chart. If a chart that you are currently working on speaks to you for mental health care, work on that chart. And I appreciate it. Your support again. With that being said, I'm going to move into my investments portion and show you. I partnered with Stitching Goddess Designs, Athena. You all know and love her. She has awesome shirts. And we developed a shirt for mental health care. And she sent me the first shirt. So down at the bottom, each one of these means a different mental health issue. So this is purple, and I did not take the time to write down what each one of them means, but I would, when she releases the form, which will be later this month, there'll be different hearts. I couldn't think. Different heart colors mean something different. So I do know that black means suicide prevention. I believe purple is depression. I think yellow is schizophrenia. So each color means something different. And that is what the shirt looks like. So thank you so much, Athena, for partnering with me. I so appreciate you. We are dear friends, and it means a lot to me that she is willing to partner with me on this endeavor. Please stay tuned to her Instagram, and I'm sure she'll be talking about it on her Flosstube channel, which I will also link below. And now we can go into the haul portion. Those were the announcements that I needed to make. Also, don't forget, it's not too late if you want to join in on the mental health care sale. So I received this cute little Stitchy Investment Bag, which was gifted to me. And so this bag will be holding my Stitchy investments as I get prepared for floss tubes. You know, when you have so many different things going on and coming in and coming out, like I'll find something over here and I'll lay something over there and something will be in there. Whereas now I'll have a dedicated bag for all my Stitchy goodness. I actually am utilizing this idea from my friends Cheryl and Kate of Fickle Stitches, because they have a Whitman's bag of investments. And so I thought that was a super cute idea. And so I have an investments bag also. I do have... So my friend Suki sent me this cute little card. And she also sent me with that Silver Creek Samplers Wings of Change. And this is one of the reasons why I want to do more than just one Mental Health May chart. Butterflies are a symbol for me. They have been a symbol for me for a long time. That and turtles also. And this saying really sums it up. It says, the butterfly is proof that you in darkness can be transformed too. That speaks volumes to me. And so this will be one of the charts that I start in May also. So thank you so very much, Suki. I appreciate you so very much. She is a dear, dear, dear friend also. All of y'all are dear friends. I have so many dear friends. I have more friends now than I've ever had in my entire life. And so I am truly thankful. I also purchased from Athena some t-shirts. If you don't have her saved as a favorite, you should do so. She has all kinds of shirts that she is putting out all the time. She has one-offs. She has one-day 24-hour sales. This is the Spring Stitching Vibes t-shirt, and she is doing all of the seasons. And so I will be getting all the seasons, and this is the first one with the spring. And then she also did... This is I Smell Snow. And that is what that looks like. So I Smell Snow will probably go away for a little while because I don't want to smell snow right now. I want to smell sunshine. That's what I want to smell, sunshine. So those were my investments for this time period. And I'm going to put my little bag in there so I'll know where it's at. So I thank you all so very much for sticking around. So I did talk to my friend Janelle about this stitch that I showed last week. It was in a box. And so we don't know if it's going to be released this year. It is designed by Forbidden Fiber Co. So you can go to her website and see. I'll link it down below also. You can go to her website and see if possibly she's going to be releasing that, but it was in a box that my friend Janelle received, and so that's where that stitch came from. And if you remember, it says I get by with a little help from my friends. So that is where that came from. So it's Forbidden Fiber Co. And you can check and see if she's going to release that pattern there. Okay, well, I thank you all so very much. You all are incredible. And that's about how much I can sum it up. You continually make my day. And I appreciate you all so very much. And with that, I will wish you a good night.